antwortet dem Mann. Antwortet den Mann. We can't use the nominative case here, der Mann, but why do we have to use yet another case? Today we will break this topic down and talk about the dative case in German. It is crazy, but we do it step by step. And if you stay with me until the end of the video, you will understand how the dative works. We will learn when to use the dative case and how to use it. So what changes do we have to make? The dative case is usually the third case you learn after the nominative, which is our basic case in the German language, and the accusative. You usually start with the accusative because you need it all the time and it's a little bit easier because there are less changes. But the dative case is also very important. That's why it's already introduced in the beginner's level, whereas the genitive case is introduced much later. So please go and watch this accusative video if you haven't already. I'll put the link down below and at the end of the video. So to explain this new case, we go back for a second to the nominative case. The nominative case is when we talk about one object or one person. Das ist ein Haus. Der Mann liest. Whereas in the accusative case, a second person or object appears on the scene. Tanja kauft eine Banane. So we have Tanja, our subject, and Banane, an additional object. Or it can be a second person. Tanja trifft einen Freund. Now for the dative case, we can imagine a third person or living object, I'll explain that later, appears on the scene. So, for example, der Lehrer bringt dem Kind den Ball. So compare this with the accusative sentence. Der Lehrer bringt den Ball. So the child is our dative object. If we add the child, we have to use the dative case. This dative object is always a person or a living object. Never such a thing as a ball. We have to change the article. Let's look at the definite article first. In our sentence, you see, das Kind turns into dem Kind. The neutral article and the male article both turn into dem. For der Mann, it's also dem Mann. Der Lehrer bringt dem Mann den Ball. So we have only one article in the dative for the neutral and male article from the nominative. Both das and der in the nominative will be dem in the dative. For die Frau, it gets a bit crazy because it changes from die Frau to der Frau. Der Lehrer bringt der Frau den Ball. That's pretty confusing because der is our male article from the nominative and now it's the female article in the dative. But that's not the only crazy thing. For the plural, it's den. Der Lehrer bringt den Kindern den Ball. And you see in this sentence, den is our singular article from the accusative. Additionally, we have to add an N, den Kindern. Der Lehrer bringt einem Kind einen Ball. Der Lehrer bringt einem Mann einen Ball. For the indefinite article, it's similar. Neutral and male article turn into one article in the dative, and this is einem. So ein Kind, ein Mann, einem Kind, einem Mann. For the woman, we have to add er. Der Lehrer bringt einer Frau einen Ball. So eine Frau in the nominative will be einer Frau in the dative. And there is no plural form for the indefinite article. So now you will think it's crazy difficult. But don't forget, for now it's enough if you understand the basic rules and if you read a sentence, understand why the article was changed. Now we can generally use this rule, one additional object or person accusative case and another additional person or living object dative. But as always in German, there are exceptions. There is a list of verbs that always require the dative, even though it's only one person or living object in the sentence. So it does not follow this logic, you have to learn these exceptions. We now learn 5 of those verbs. The total list is a little bit longer, but some of these verbs are too difficult for now. So our first verb is helfen. Ich helfe dem Mann. Das Kind hilft einer Katze. Our second verb is antworten. Ich antworte einer Frau. The thing is, antworten is always with dative, but fragen is always with accusative. So only antworten is the exception. Ich frage eine Frau. This is accusative und ich antworte einer Frau. We always have to use the dative for antworten. Our third verb is danken. Ich danke dem Arzt. Das Kind dankt der Lehrerin. The fourth verb is glauben. Ich glaube der Lehrerin. Sie hat recht. And the fifth and last verb is gefallen. Die Puppe gefällt dem Mädchen. Das Haus gefällt der Familie. Der Park gefällt den Kindern. Gefallen is a verb we use a lot, and you always have to remember you have to use the dative case. Now let's practice some more examples together. So now I hope this video has helped you. I know it's very difficult and confusing to begin with, but if you understand step by step these cases, it will be much easier in the future. If you want to watch more videos about German grammar for beginners, please check my channel or my playlist. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.